Hello everyone, this is Lada from Astrolada.com, and today we're honoring our mothers, and it's a week after Mother's Day, but I'm here today with astrologer Radostina. She's from Bulgaria. I've worked with her for 2 years. Oh, just a second.
With Wix, you can create your own professional website.
Sorry. Oops. Sorry, something came up. But yeah, I'm here with Radi. She is in Bulgaria. She's worked astrology as a professional astrologer for 4 years now. Hello, Radi.
Hi, Lada. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here with us and for preparing such an interesting topic for us. We're going to talk about mothers, how to find the mother in the horoscope, how to see how you're going to be as a mother, as a parent, and how, and basically, yeah, everything connected with our mothers and how we experience our mothers.
Yes, absolutely. It is a super interesting topic. I guess mostly women will be interested in it, even though the moon in our chart, it always represents our mother. It doesn't matter whether we are male or female. The moon shows our feminine energy and our mothers. So depending on where our moon is, this is how we perceive our mother, and this is how we connect with her, and this shows our relationship to her. So it is really, really interesting, and it's a very significant connection because everything starts from the childhood and with the mother. And now that you're a new mom,
Yeah.
I guess you're more than interested on the topic.
Absolutely, I am. Even though I was shocked that my baby's moon is in Scorpio, because Scorpio, me? Like so easy breezy. But I'm looking forward to hear what you say about moon and Scorpio. I'm quite curious to see how he'll perceive me. But somehow, you can have the same family, mother and father, and 3 children, and each of them has a different moon, and the mom is the same. And does it mean it's just the child perceives the mother in very different ways?
Yes. Hello?
Can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you now. Okay. Yes, that's it. That's a very important thing to pay attention to, because the moon shows how we perceive our mother. It doesn't mean that she's the way we perceive her. We can have one mother with 2 children, and one can be with, let's say, moon in Cancer, very emotional, very motherly, and the other child is born with the moon in Aquarius, which is very friendly but very distant, the feeling of it. So yes, and it doesn't mean that the particular mother is such person, but this is how she interacts with her child.
It's interesting because my moon is in Leo and my brother's moon is in Cancer. And for me, my mom was a queen. I saw her as the most beautiful woman in town and as a queen. And even my first memory of her is being Snow White in the kindergarten. And I really thought she was Snow White, like Leo, queen, And my brother, her moon is in Cancer, and he perceives her as she bakes for him, she cooks for him. She never did that for me, And she's always at home. She spends time at home. When she was bringing me up, she was this lady that everyone admired, with a big fashion design company. And when he was growing up, she was a stay-at-home mom. So yeah, you can see how the same person can be perceived in 2 very different ways by the same. By the different children.
Absolutely, yes. And this is what's so interesting to me, because I have a daughter. She's 5.5, and I basically can see my reflection in her horoscope.
Wow.
And sometimes it's nice, sometimes it's scary, because her moon is in conjunction with Saturn, so it is a little bit serious, if I may say.
Maybe she sees you as a very hard-working woman. That's what it is.
She does, yes. Whenever she can see me, yes. She knows that I'm working a lot, and she knows that I'm trying to build a career. Also, I'm a teacher. I'm teaching little children, so this is another aspect of my or Capricorn nature.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. There you go. Hardworking.
yes,
Two
I'm
careers.
trying to focus. Yes, I'm trying to focus on that I'm a teacher, and this is how Saturn represents me in her chart.
And not that you're
Oh,
bullying her. Not bullying,
cold.
cold and distant. Yeah.
I might be somehow distant because of my work, because I work hard and I'm really trying hard to build a career, but I'm not bullying her. No, I'm
And your
not.
moon is in Capricorn. So that's the sign of Saturn.
My,
Maybe that's why she just perceives you Saturnian,
yes,
because with moon in Capricorn,
yes.
that's, So can you walk us through the
Absolutely,
signs of the
of
moon,
course, yes.
what it means?
Okay, so let's start with Aries, of course. The first sign. Um, if your child, if you have a moon in Aries, that means that you perceive the mother as a very impatient person, very individualistic, very fast. She doesn't have time to wait for you. She doesn't have time for you to be a kid. You, yes, I mean, come on, tie your shoes up, grow up, and get yourself ready for life because I don't have time for that. I'm in a hurry.
Yeah, be independent, basically. Yeah.
Yes, yes, very independent, and this mother teaches her child to be independent and to cope and to be taking initiatives and to fight in life, because there's no time to stop and look around and see where you
Yeah.
are. You
Smell the flowers, as they say.
Yes. So this mother, she's probably a person that is leading a leader in the family. She's probably the boss, and she says who does what, or at
Uh-huh.
least this is what the child thinks of her anyway. And but she's very passionate, and she teaches her children how to be passionate about life, which is absolutely great. And to be independent, I think it is very important, even though, of course, my moon in Capricorn wouldn't think differently.
You want to keep your baby close, tied up around you, and control every move.
Yes, there is control in Capricorn and in Aries because they're very bossy. But mm, that's not always bad. I mean, it's something that has to happen. People have to know where to go and what to do, really.
Exactly.
Especially when they're
These are
children, they need guidance.
exactly, and these are qualities, especially in our world nowadays, which is so competitive. A moon, if you have a moon in Aries, your mom probably taught you to be very competitive, and you can succeed in life through this fast go 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 attitude that she has.
Absolutely, yes. So that's the moon in Aries, or this is also very if you have a moon that's in a different sign, but let's say the moon is in conjunction with Mars,
Mhm.
which is the ruler of Aries, you would feel the same about your mother, as if she's an Aries sign, or as if you have a moon in Aries.
So that like the a planet conjunct the moon overpowers the sign.
Usually, yes, or at least gives a lot of its qualities. You can
Mhm.
feel both, depending on the situation. You can, let's say, if you have a moon in Taurus, but it's in conjunction with Mars, you would, in different situations, you would perceive her in both ways.
Mhm.
Sometimes she would slow down, for example, when it's Sunday and you can just lay in bed and or just go for a walk and smell the flowers. You'll have chance then. But let's say if it's about work or if it's about homework, you have to be really quick and you have to do these things and you have to finish first.
Absolutely.
And
Mars,
quickly.
Moon conjunct Mars. Oh, by the way, I've noticed, because I work a lot with women, that with relationships as well. And when a woman has Moon conjunct Mars, or Moon, very strong aspect Mars, usually the conjunction is the one that I've noticed, that is that in relationships, they, instead of relaxing and being a woman, they don't allow the guy to do things for them. They're the ones that, you know, they would open their own door and they would go and fix something that is broken. But guys like to help a woman. This is how a man feels useful. So you have Moon with Mars. Remember to be a woman. Remember not to always take the initiative.
I'm learning. I think. I think I'm learning now. Because yes, it has been a problem because I'm taking over and I'm being the man in the relationship, and I'm like, come on, let's do this, and come on, let's do that, and being independent and not letting the man be a man in the relationship, which is a huge problem nowadays.
I know, and people say, oh, women should be, you know, we're feminists, whatever. Yes, we are, but we also have female body, and the men have male body, and these things have not changed. And for thousands of years, they'll be like, since humanity was created, if you have a masculine body, you bond. It's proven psychologically that a man bonds to a woman when he does things for her, when he invests something material, practical. Doesn't mean he has to pay your bills or anything, but when he does things, this is how a man bonds. A woman bonds when she receives, because the woman is the feminine principle of the moon, receptive, receiving. So learn to receive. For women who have Moon in Aries or Moon Mars, you know. Sorry, go on.
Yes, it is super important, that that point that you made, because I have went through it personally, and I know how hard it is to be receptive and be patient and be slow, and let let him be the man and let him lead.
Yeah, I even have a friend who, you know, her husband, she can fix things at home, but she says, I don't do it because I don't want to emasculate my husband. So I could fix the toilet, for example, but I ask him to do it himself, and I ask him for help. And he says he feels very useful and happy when he does this, even though she could do it better, you know. So that's something. I know it sounds like a trick, but it does work. You know, women allow guys to do things for you. Especially women with more masculine moons. Okay,
Absolutely.
so Moon in Taurus.
Moon
Or
in
Moon
Taurus.
conjunct Venus would be the other one.
Yes. This is probably the best moon to have, especially if it's not afflicted by any negative aspects or hard aspects by other planets. Because this is a mother that is not overprotective, but she's giving you all the comfort, and, or see her as the mother that gives you all the comfort. She provides for you everything that you need. She bakes cookies for you, and it's all wonderful, and it's all slow and enjoyable, and she just lets you grow steadily and lets you enjoy life. And
Oh,
this is
how on.
probably the best moon position of all. Exalted in Taurus, isn't it? So um, this is where when I see a person with moon in Taurus, I know that they have had a great mother-child relationship.
Yeah, I even have, my husband has Moon in Taurus. It affects you later on because you become very peaceful, patient person as well. And others want to be around you, almost like healing influence. And he deals with the baby so much better because the moon also shows how do you mother, how do you parent. And he's a better mother than I am. He's so much more methodical and patient, and the baby comes down with him much more than with me. But and his mom, they were divorced, the parents, but the mom was lovely. Whenever they were together, the mom provided, she always lived, had the beautiful houses, beautiful environment. So always, you know, everything was very harmonious and very, all the needs, exactly as you said, especially in a material way, were around them. So sorry, again, interrupting you, but
no, that's very interesting. It's great to see live examples. And I definitely think this is the best moon to have. So if you're planning to give birth, look at the moon and
plan it for then.
and planets, and yes, and have the moon in Taurus if you can for your child. Um, and the next one is the moon in Cancer. No, Gemini. Gemini. They're so quick that I almost skipped them.
Where Gemini? Just it went away.
Yeah, so, this is a mother that is very intellectual, is very youthful at heart. She's always very interested in so many things that she doesn't have much time to pay attention to the kids. Or if she decides to teach them something, it will definitely be something intellectual. There's all the emotions go through the mind, and everything is rationalized there. So a
Maybe she
person,
would, when she's stopping breastfeeding, she would explain to the child, well, it's time that she stops breastfeeding.
yes, everything gets explained thoroughly, and she provides her children mostly with books and with education, all sorts of education, and she would probably let them use all channels of communication and information so they can get as much information as possible, because this is the most important to her. And she would be non-stop. She would probably have 3 hobbies and 2 jobs, and would go to courses to learn new languages, let's say, or anything really.
Yeah, my best friend has moon in Gemini conjunct Mercury, so it's like double whammy. And her mom had to work a lot of jobs, so she was constantly busy, and she did gardening, and she was like always doing something somewhere. So they kind of brought themselves up with her sister.
Well, they learned how to, and they managed to do it. So,
But very skillful mom. Whatever she touched, she's like, because Gemini is such a skillful sign, probably the most skillful of all. So you saw your mom probably as someone who can also cope on their own with their intelligence, with their skills, that they can survive and.
absolutely, and it is a little bit unreliable, because when you need her, she's probably on the phone and you cannot call her, but hold of her. But she's a lot of fun, really, because she's so youthful at heart, and she probably looks as young as her daughters or sons.
Exactly. Yes,
they
her mom is 60 now, and they always think they're sisters. And her mom was young. She had her very young. Maybe there is something of that as well, because Gemini is the sign of.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So yes, this is the Gemini moms. They're fun to have, but you can't keep them for yourself. They have their own life.
Ah, brilliantly said. Yeah, I keep thinking to the mom of my friend. At her 60s, she travels around the world now. She has so many hobbies. She's just starting to live now at 60, you know. And she's so excited about life, and she goes to Las Vegas and to all those places. Yeah, very curious. Never stops learning, the mom.
Yes, and I admire people like that, because they are always so keen on life, and they have so much energy. And I think it's fantastic to be 60 and to start exploring and being non-stop, and not sitting at home and complaining that you're getting older.
Oh, my mom's mom is, my mom has moon in Gemini, and my grandmother, her mom, she doesn't stop talking. She's like all the time. I don't even want to go into her room sometimes because you become a hostage. She'll tell you stories from time immemorial, from the Second World War, and she's super chatty, and she knew everyone in the neighborhood. I mean, she's lived with my mom. She moved when she was 75 to live with my mom, or 80, and within 1 year she knew all the neighbors, people that my mom's never met for 30 years living in that neighborhood. Her mom knew everything. You know, my mom having Gemini moon definitely describes the mom, so her mom so much.
Yes. They're very gossipy as well. So
when I go, I know what all the cousins are doing, who is sleeping with who. Then she goes and tells me everything about her soap operas that she's watching, and she's and very keen. Like at the age of 90 now, her mind is as keen and as intelligent as it's always been, And yeah, I perceive her the same way. But that's how my mom saw her always, yeah. And she can sing you songs for hours and recite at the age of 90, recite poems, yeah, long poems. But
yes, no, they are super intelligent. I mean, they know things, and they remember things a lot, and they're so curious, as you said, that just cannot stop.
wow, yeah, for certain. That's my grandma.
This is what keeps them young at heart, and this is what keeps their brains so well exercised, I would say.
Yeah, well, so basically, if you have moon in Gemini, your mom's not gonna have Alzheimer for certain. She's gonna keep her
Well,
mind.
she might be bipolar.
She might be bipolar. Yeah, like.
There's a possibility, depending on other aspects. But yes, in the best possible examples, she would be just young at heart and at mind, and she would be very lively up until old age.
Wow, nice. So it has its positives.
Sorry?
It has a lot of its positive. Your mom will look younger than you, and
Yes, absolutely. Then the next moon is moon in Cancer. Um, what is interesting is that, as I said, I think that moon in Taurus is the best placement for a moon, and the moon is the ruler of Cancer. But moon in Cancer is over caring. It's like smothering. It's too much of a
Mama
mother.
Bear, Mama Bear, as they
Yes.
call them.
Yes, sometimes, of course, not always, but sometimes this can be a negative way of expressing or seeing your mother. Uh, that she's too caring and she's too much into your life and she's not letting you do too many things. She just does everything for you.
That's my little brother. He's now 18 and he has moon in Cancer. And when I go back to Bulgaria, my mom feeds him at 18 with the spoon while he's doing something. She feeds him in the mouth with the spoon and prepares his
No.
food.
Yes, this is what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
Which is not like the healthiest thing to do, but at the end of the day, we have chosen our parents, so this is what we have to go through to grow in a certain way.
Absolutely.
He will learn to feed himself eventually.
Oh, his wife will do it after that.
Yes, of
No,
course.
what I notice is the opposite with his girlfriend. He cuts her steak and feeds her. So maybe you become like that. You start, especially when you feel connected emotionally to someone, you become when you have the moon in Cancer, you become overly protective as well and caring towards them. So
Maybe yes, because the moon also represents in the male's chart. Um, it represents not only the mother but the wife as well. So this can be his attitude towards his wife, or it can be the wife that's caring as a mother. But he's definitely, I think, with the moon in Cancer, he's definitely looking for woman to resemble his mother.
Oh, you're right. Yes, yes, because the moon is in the sign of Cancer, the mother. So, oh wow,
Yes.
good luck.
I think most men are like that anyway.
Yes, you're right.
So yes, but on the other hand, this is a mother that is giving her all to her children. She's really, truly loving them and protective. She's very protective. She's very caring. She cooks wonderfully. Also, the mother, the moon in Taurus mom, also wonderful cook. You cannot beat her. Like if your husband has a moon in Cancer or in Taurus, good luck with cooking because mommy knows best.
Oh no, the love passes through their
and
stomach.
yes, and you um, and you can't even say anything because you've tasted her food and you know it's the best. I mean,
You know,
you can anything.
oh no. Yeah, my husband also cooks better than I do, for certain. His moon in Taurus, it's he whatever he takes, he makes it so much better, and I follow recipes and try whatnot. Never. Can you hear me? I lost sound. Right, yeah, I lost you. Hello? Let me check if people can hear on the chat. Hello, can you hear us on the chat? Hello? Yes, people say they hear us. I can hear a lot. Can you hear Radi, guys? Radi, say something.
Hello.
Okay.
I think maybe yes.
Yes, we're back.
Yes, I can see you. I don't know. You can see me too. Okay.
You went again. No, your sound went away again. Maybe it's your earphone.
She dropped out.
No, the sound on. Try to disconnect it from the camera, from the phone, and see if it's. No, I can't hear you, Radi. I can see you, but. Can you hear me? Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Now.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So Taurus and Moon in Cancer are hard to beat, mummies, cooking wise anyway. What next? Moon in Leo. That's also a very nice placement for the moon. Because this is as you said, your moon is in Leo, so you know that this is the mother that's like queen. Sometimes she's surrealistic because she's as if came out of a fairy tale.
Yes.
And she's if she's telling you stories, she would act them out for you, and she would probably have the hat and all the accessories that you need and all the gestures, and she would be loud and bright and entertaining and
Absolutely. My mom was. My friends would come to spend time with her, and they would adore her rather than with me. They would come, drop by, and to talk to my mom. And still, they do. Her friends are 20 years old. Her best friend is 22 years old or something like that. And the young people love her. They consider her very glamorous. I consider her very glamorous. But who knows? Let me see what. Yeah, carry on, sir. I don't want to interrupt.
She's probably a person who would want all of the attention for her, but all you need to do is just to tell her that she's the best and she's the most adorable person in the world, and she would be happy, and then she would pay you attention. She would let you have some of the stage. But they're very loving. I mean, they're like the sun. They're so warm, and there's so much love in them, and there is so much playfulness because Leos like to play. They're ruled by the sun, and it's just warmth and love and creativity, and also, of course, drama coming out of them. But it's so much fun. And they have some natural feeling about kids. They know how to work with them. They know how to play with them. They know how to
Exactly.
um, teach them and grow and they just have a way with kids that is just natural. It just comes out of them as if they've done this their whole life. So it's great fun. Sometimes they might be a little bit like dictators when they're in bed.
Overwhelming. Yes.
When they want something, they want it done, and that's that.
She's the boss.
Yes, they have the leadership qualities.
Would that be the same, the moon with the sun? Have you noticed if that's the same if the moon, if a person is born on a new moon? Or it's not so?
Mm, I don't think so, because then the moon is dark,
Yeah,
and
it's different.
it, it's different. It's different. The feeling is different. And are you there?
Hmm. Yes, yes, I
Oh,
can hear
okay.
you.
Um, I think it's a little bit different when I think anyway. I think when the moon is in conjunction with planets, heavy planets, or Mars as well. There, this is when you can feel more. You can feel the influence more. Let's say a moon conjunction Mars, or moon Saturn, moon Neptune, moon Uranus, moon Pluto. These are very specific that you can feel very strong.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I think it's different with the sun,
Hmm.
because the sun. I think it would brighten up the more. It would influence and brighten up more the sign that
Yeah.
this conjunction is happening into.
Uh-huh, exactly. Because then become double whatever.
Like a spotlight. Mm. So yeah, I think it brings more balance than anything else. Mm, right, and then we have the moon in Virgo. These are Virgo is an earth sign, so and it's a very humble sign, and this means that you have perceived your mother as somebody who's been busy working. She might have had to be away to work, and mm, just because she needs to earn money, not because of career or because of some sort of interest, like in Gemini, hobbies, or she's away because of her hobbies or traveling or education. With Virgo, it's more like just labor because of need, or maybe she has been taking care of somebody, or maybe her health was
Um,
deteriorating while you were little, and this is what is left as a perception in the child with the moon in Virgo. But you know that your mother is a very hardworking person, and she's very caring, and she is trying to, and she's very moderate. She's and modest as well.
yes.
Um, of course, a perfectionist, and this is something that is very specific about people with moon in Virgo, that they always beat themselves too hard because their mothers were probably expecting a lot from them. And it is not a bad position for the moon, but it has the specifics where sometimes you can be too hard on yourself and people and your wife and women in your life.
Someone says, what about Virgo for healing matters? Maybe they were a doctor, a nurse, you know?
Yes. Probably not a doctor, but probably a nurse. Or somebody who is some kind of a health practitioner, whether it was they could have been also like doing massages or energy therapy or something like that as well.
Exactly.
Example of
sorry,
nurse is a great example of a profession.
Okay.
For that placement. And then we have the moon in Libra. Moon in Libra, probably the child would perceive their mother as a very beautiful person, very elegant, vain maybe. And my daughter's moon is in Libra, and she always, if I don't put on makeup, and she's like, Mama, why are you going out without any makeup on?
So actually, with her own moon, she's bringing out the Libra in you, isn't she? Almost like the child molds the mom to behave in the way as the child's moon sign is.
Yes, absolutely, yes. And as I said earlier, she has this conjunction with Saturn, so she thinks there has to be like some rules, and going out with no makeup on is
no
breaking the rules.
It's like Libra rules. They should be makeup, they should be beauty. That's great though.
Yes.
Saturn in Libra is it's exalted, so you can Saturn conjunction Moon. Yes, you're working hard, but it's much more. Look at the good things it's bringing out of Libra, basically.
Yes. This is what I keep telling myself anyway. But yes, also Moon in Libra, it's a person who the child would see her mother or his mother as somebody who is very diplomatic, or not going into any kind of arguments, or always trying to go halfway in a situation, like to be fair. And it's very funny again. I think that I'm surprised because she's a Scorpio like me, and she keeps, and you know, Scorpio and money, and they want people's money. And she keeps saying, Mom, I just don't understand. Why don't you share your money with me? I honestly don't understand.
And she wants fairness, is like with a Libra. You have to share your money. It's only fair, after all, to share your money with me.
Yes.
She's adorable.
When she's helping me, yes, and when she's helping me with things, because we always carry things like bags and rucksacks and her scooter and toys, and she takes something, and then she says, Mama, now do you feel like this is fair, that I'm carrying something and you're carrying something?
Oh my God.
She always asks me questions, and I've never said, well, it's not fair. I mean, I've never said that. And then she just takes something and says, let me help you and tell me if you think that this is fair now that we've shared the weight.
So she's playing her own Moon Libra. She's showing it so powerfully, but then she's projecting it onto you as well. So she keeps bringing up fairness. And one day when she grows up, she'll say, my mom was all about fairness. But actually, she triggered that in you. You see how we project our own planets on others?
Yes, absolutely. So yes, this is also a placement where it's not very emotional, but it's always fair, and it's always intellectual, and it's always again communication. It's all about communication and explaining and knowing what to say, when to say, so people don't get hurt. So I am probably a kind mother.
Kind, absolutely.
um, and then we have the moon in Scorpio, and this is what you were interested in because
Ah.
your baby is moon in Scorpio.
I keep saying that, but I think he looks at me suspiciously. Honestly, I think he looks to
Like,
one eye always, and I feel like he's analyzing me and judging me, and that it's. I don't
he
see
probably is.
lightheartedness there. I just see one serious, intense baby, and he's projecting it on me. I don't know how he'll ever see me as a Scorpio mom, but you explain to me. Tell me how will he perceive me?
Well, yes, in most of the books you can find on the market, you cannot see many good things about Moon in Scorpio. It is a very hard placement, but you are not everybody. I mean, you are a very popular and influential person that is healing. And Moon in Scorpio is these are natural healers. People who have Moon in Scorpio, they are natural healers and they are natural therapists. They understand the human's psyche, and they just understand the soul, and they know um, the depth of life.
Oh, well, Scorpio rules
And
astrology in Vedic Scorpio is like it's like psychology, isn't it? It's
yes,
the occult,
yes,
astrology, the occult. There we go. So that's one positive manifestation. And I'm also
yes,
I've read that the mom can be quite sexual with the moon in Scorpio. Maybe the child feels a lot of sexual undertones in the family, which is perfect, which is true.
yes.
I've seen someone with moon in Scorpio. Their mom is a relationship sex therapist, so that's another thing it can
That's
play out.
another thing. Yeah, and the influence, because you are so influential, you help so many people. You are basically a therapist yourself,
Hmm.
in a way.
Oh, I never thought of it like that. The first thing I thought is his mom will be dead. I'll die. Scorpio is dead. I always think the worst, so I'm like, I guess I'll die while he's still growing up. But thank you for giving this other perspective.
It's always good to hear a different perspective. I know what you mean. It's so hard when you look at your child's moon and you see all the worst things that you can imagine.
Exactly. That's always the worst. That's why I don't want to do my own horoscope. I go to astrologers to do my horoscope because I
I
never
know.
see objectively. I see black
Yeah,
and white, very dark.
absolutely, yes. Depending on how you feel today, you can be
Um,
very positive about things and or quite contrary. So yes, these are specifically in your case, because you are so popular and because you have so much influence over people and because you are a therapist in a way. I think this is what your baby's moon means. I haven't seen his horoscope, but this is, I think,
it has no
definitely
bad
what.
aspect. It only has a sextile to Pluto, and
Yeah,
that's about it. So even more plutonic. Yeah.
there you go. Very sexy and very influential mom. Probably very rich as well.
Hey. Will he want my money with this moon in Scorpio?
Might. Oh, or at least he will inherit some of them eventually.
I don't
Um,
know, but hopefully. And how can it play out in negative ways now? Moon in
in
Scorpio.
negative ways, Moon in Scorpio is very negative.
Go
I
on.
mean, very the mother can be seen as very manipulative, very too emotional, and too much into your life, and too much um, just too
Obsessive.
much of her.
Yeah.
Obsessive, yes,
Reading your
controlling.
diary.
Sorry?
Reading your diary. Meddling in your
Yes,
family
yes,
life.
yes, and being like a spy, and just investigating you and your life and everything, and wanting to dig deeper and deeper, and just touching very like personal and private and sensitive topics.
Oh.
So it is a very hard experience with. Also, another thing that I have noticed with Scorpios and Scorpio energy in general is that it is concerned. I mean, it has a lot of the times it has to do with death. I mean, sometimes when a Scorpio is born, there's death in the family before, just before the birth,
Or
before
after. Close.
or after close. Yes. So, for example, when my daughter was born, a few months before that, while I was pregnant, my grandmother died.
Oh.
So it's it Scorpio is life and death, and we cannot run away from it,
Yeah, I told you, I thought
unfortunately.
I'll die the moment I saw his horoscope. I'm like, okay. Anyway.
It is not an easy placement, because also my sister has her moon in Scorpio, and she has moon in Scorpio conjunction in conjunct with Pluto
Oh, wow.
in the sixth house. So it's a lot of Scorpio and a lot of drama, um,
How is she perceiving your
turbulence, like a controlling person,
mom?
mostly. But
Oh.
I think they have a strong connection, even though the moon is in Scorpio and is in conjunction with Pluto. They have a very and they go into private stories. I mean, they tell they share intimate stories. While me, and my moon in Capricorn, I'm very. I think my family thinks I don't have a heart or something.
That's awful to hear.
This is what I suspect anyway.
Robot. You're a robot.
Yeah, I am an emotional bad person
Oh no,
sometimes,
don't
of
say
course,
that.
but not
Many
always.
people are commenting that actually they have moon in Scorpio, and that they're saying that that the grandma passed away a day before he was born. They were saying yes, it's true. Others are saying I have moon in Scorpio, and we were extremely intensely close with my mom, because there is this intensity, almost like taboo intimacy that can exist between a mom and a child when the moon is in Scorpio.
Yes, yes, and this is true. Yes, about the death and about the being so close and so um, into their private stories and private topics, and it's
Mhm.
very intense and very emotional. But again, I want to like highlight on with the moon in Scorpio is that these are definitely people who can heal others, because they know their shadow sides, and they know
Mhm.
how to come out of these experiences very. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not an easy process, of course, but they have healing power, definitely. And my sister is very she has she's initiated in Reiki, and her
Oh.
energy is super strong. I mean, feel when she touches you, you burn. You can feel the energy super strong.
I know, I've noticed moon in Scorpio people, they can even open up their Kundalini somehow. It can open up while they're,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Mm,
the Kundalini is the energy at the base of the spine, that is the sexual energy, and Scorpio rules the Kundalini. And those people, they can, either the mom might be a healer in some way, as you said, to work with Kundalini, or they might awaken it through sexual experiences or through intense experiences like some life crisis or strong emotions, and they're the most emotionally, when they grow up, people with moon in Scorpio are the most emotionally resilient people I've seen. They go through hell sometimes emotionally to get there, but because of the extreme amplitudes of feelings from low to high, they become very resilient in difficult and extreme situations like no one else, in crisis situations. So it gives emotional strength later on. But first, it's a bit hard.
Yes, it is. It is hard at first, and also I've noticed that she attracts dramatic people and dramatic situations. I mean, uh, it's like, and people don't know her, and they just go and tell her all their worst stories, and they start crying there, and they're like, God, what's happening to me? Why? Why do you need to tell me this?
I have a best friend with moon in Scorpio, and she's like the agony aunt, as they call. At her workplace, everyone goes and shares her affairs. She's the psychologist. She's a lawyer, but she's like a psychologist. Yeah. Men as well, they go and tell her secrets they haven't told to anyone else. And she loves it. She says, and look at me. When I see someone suffering, I have to dig deep to understand why and to try and help them. And that's very moon in Scorpio as well.
Yes,
And probably the mom was
absolutely.
like that.
Yes, my mom is definitely a person who people go to share their stories, because she's very people, and she makes them comfortable to and they feel like they're understood, and they feel like there's support,
and they're not judged for their darker side, because Scorpio does not judge you for the darkness, because Scorpio's been there, has done that. They're not going to judge you if you have an affair. They're not going to judge you if you have murderous thoughts towards your boss or whatever, because they understand this depth,
exactly.
that this shadow, as you said. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yeah. If you have some dark secrets to share, you have to go to a Scorpio or to a person with a Scorpio moon, something like that. These are the only people that will understand.
Yes, absolutely.
Because they have either been there or they have thought about it.
Yes, exactly. Nothing shocks them or surprises them. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, moon in Sagittarius. Oh, let's lighten up the mood a bit.
Yes. Take a deep breath and be happy. Moon in Sagittarius is very again, it is similar to the moon in Gemini in a way, because Sagittarian people are also very curious, and they love to travel, but they travel further away, and they're very interested in any kind of cultures, philosophies, different ways of seeing the world, exploring the world. Somebody with the moon in Sagittarius would see their mom as somebody who is very wise, somebody who is very positive and supportive, and full of hope as well, and somebody that loves traveling. And but this is something very specific about the part with the wisdom, because they again they have this attitude where they just smile and they say, don't worry about it, this is because of this and that and the other, or don't worry, this will pass too, it shall pass too.
Oh.
And they always have this hope that they carry, and give this positive attitude, and
It's a great moon to
they
have.
it is, yes. Sometimes they're very again, they might be unreliable in a way, because they get overexcited about things and then they forget what they promised.
Ah, okay.
But they are fair. I mean, they really want to be fair with people, and they try their best to be fair.
and not to forget what they've promised. Even though
Yes.
sometimes it's hard. Because they're so curious and they want to try so many things, and they also are not very patient, and they're not very diplomatic as
Uh-huh.
well. If they have something to tell you, they will just be straight with you, and they won't care whether or how you're going to feel about it.
The notorious
Mm,
Sagittarian bluntness, basically.
yes. But they have also a great sense of humor, so they would probably, after they have told you something that you definitely don't want to hear, they would probably make you laugh, and
Yeah.
you would feel better
And
afterwards.
sometimes it's very literal how you perceive your mom with moon in Sagittarius. I've seen a few people that their mom was a foreigner in the country and she had an accent, and that's, yeah, this is Sagittarius rules foreigners. So that's how they perceive the mom, basically.
Yeah. Or she can be Sagittarian. I mean, she can be
Yeah.
with some Sagittarius,
Yeah.
literally.
Literally, yeah. Like my moon is in Leo, my mom is a sun in Leo. So very, sometimes
Yeah.
it's very simple like that. Sometimes it's more subtle and more has to do with the career of the mom or with the
Yeah.
dynamics in the between the two of them only.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this is very interesting when you ask somebody about their parents' professions and what they do, and you can see it very clearly in the chart. For example, my daughter is a Scorpio with Sagittarius ascendant and moon in Libra. I'm a Scorpio,
Uh-huh.
and her father is a Sagittarius.
Ah,
Sun in Sagittarius, so she's a Scorpio with a Sagittarian sun, and her dad's ascendant is Libra, and her moon is in Libra.
wow.
And my my moon is in Capricorn, and her moon is in conjunction with Saturn.
That,
So it
that's
just
just like the mirror, just showed in a different way.
it's a wonderful mix between us.
Wow.
uh,
And,
and
and her father is a foreigner, isn't he? He's literally a foreigner.
he is, yes,
Yeah.
yes. We are me and her are Bulgarians, and he's English. So, but
She's
she
South English.
looks she looks very foreign. I mean, when people see her, they're like, "Oh, is she?" She looks like she's English. I said, "Well, she's
Yeah.
half English, actually."
Wow.
But this is because of her ascendant. It's very people with my best friend has her ascendant in Sagittarius and foreign, even though she's totally Bulgarian.
They look foreign.
Okay.
Something
Anyway,
exotic.
back to the moon.
Capricorn.
Back to Capricorn moon. That's my moon. Um, yeah, again, it is not easy to find positive things about the Capricorn moon because there's almost no emotion to be found there. So, as somebody who has a moon in Capricorn means that they see their mothers as very, how should I say it? Um, First of all, there's no emotional bond between the people, or at least there are emotions, but they're not allowed on the surface.
To be expressed.
So also, my mom has always been very like, she always wanted the best. Of course, as every mother, she would always want the best for her children.
Uh-huh.
But it just, I think it just feels that it's never enough. I mean, whatever you do, it's never enough, and you're always like criticized, and you're always you do something, and when you do it right, and she says, well, this is what you're supposed to do anyway. But
Yeah.
when you do something wrong, and she's like, well, why? Why have you not done? Why is this not done right?
When you do it right, it's like, yeah. So she has high expectations. A moon, a mom, a Capricorn moon, the mom probably had very high expectations for them and high demands from them, and putting high pressure on them as well for performance.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And then this becomes your inner voice, and this is how people, and with a lot of Saturn or Capricorn energy, they for their 30s they struggle a lot because they feel
Appreciated.
Underachieving.
Yeah, and this constant inner voice, you're not good enough, you have to try better. And with my moon in Leo, my mom was constantly giving me compliments. It's the opposite. My mom was like, oh, you're the best, you're the prettiest. And with your moon in Capricorn, it's like, you have to try harder, this is not good enough. Oh, poor you. That's hard position.
But the good thing is that I mean, I'm not like that because my moon is in the 12th house, so I am very emotional and I show emotion, even though my moon is but because of all the aspects, like the conjunction with Mars and I'm not very emotional, and I don't show emotions in the family, as I said. They think that I don't have any heart at all. But because the moon represents family and roots and where we come from and our home. So I'm not very emotional there, but with other people, everybody knows about how I feel. I mean, I cannot hide my emotions because of my positions. But usually moons in Capricorn, they don't show emotion. They have a lot of emotions, but they don't let themselves show emotion.
So it doesn't mean you're heartless, really. It means you're just not comfortable with expressing it publicly.
Yes, yes. And you think about people and what are people going to say, and how would this
they'll judge you. You think they'll judge you? Yeah, exactly.
They will judge you, yes, and it wouldn't look good on your CV and in your history, and you are trying to be going to the top of wherever you're going, and this is not looking good.
But that's good actually for career. That would be good.
Yes, it doesn't let you get overwhelmed with emotions, and it usually lets you stay calm and
not make an ass of yourself on Facebook.
Yeah. and gives you a realistic perspective of life and where you are, or even not so realistic, but it gives you it actually sometimes people might be a little bit more negative, and depending on the amount of negativity, if it's not too much, it's not that bad, because you are more realistic and you want to get better and better, and you get better and better with time. This is one thing that's really great about Capricorns, is that with time you just get better.
Exactly. So guys, even if you have moon in Capricorn, don't beat yourself up, because you'll be the ones that you'll be feeling happy and happier the older you get, to be honest.
Yes, and
you can be like a rock for your family. The older
and
you
with
get.
more success, the older you get, the better.
Absolutely.
You just have to learn a lot. And believe yourself, of course, because this is a very big problem with Capricorn moons and suns and everything to do with Capricorn. They need time to believe in themselves.
Oh,
okay,
bless their soul.
As my friends in England say, bless their cotton socks.
Their cotton socks. Oh, you're so cute. Like I feel much more. I'm like your daughter. I feel more the Libra side of you, the Pisces, this 12th house moon than Capricorn.
That's because I have my Venus on top of my horoscope. That's why people don't perceive me as Scorpio at all.
Yeah,
Because
I
my
thought something sweet, nice, and look at this the bow tie there, very Venusian. But it's deceptive. You're a nightmare once they get to know you. I'm kidding.
I know. Shh, don't tell them.
Yeah, wear your bow tie, mislead people, and men in particular. Then go fix their cars and. Sorry.
Okay. Then we continue with the moon in Aquarius. This is a very people with the moon in Aquarius and people with moon in Saturn, actually, not Saturn but Capricorn. They This is a placement where it might mean that you're away from your family, or also when there is Uranus in the fourth house, or there's Aquarius in the fourth house, because Moon rules the fourth house, and this is the house of family, motherhood, and the roots and where we're coming from. So when we have Aquarian and when we have Aquarian influence, which is concerned with the mother or with the family, this means that in some way the mother is not there. She's distant, or she, because of work, for example, she has to be away to travel, or there might be a divorce in the family as well.
My baby has fourth house cusp in Aquarius, but I'm an astrologer, so.
But you are an astrologer, yes, of course. This
Yeah,
is another thing.
Yeah.
And yes, and these are all different, yes, different ways of how Aquarius can, or you are an astrologer, or some mothers can be scientists.
Very mental,
Or
very in their head.
Very intellectual, yes. Very mental, very scientific, very future orientated, very friendly as well. If you probably, a person with the moon in Aquarius would probably see their mother more like their best friend than a mother.
Oh yeah, I can imagine it.
Which is great in a way, I think. There's not much emotion there. Again, there's more of an intellectual work, and there are also mothers who are very humanitarian. They might be working towards bettering the world and bettering people.
Okay, and working in somehow with big groups of networks of people as well.
Yes, yes. So this is what the moon in Aquarius would feel like. Sometimes distant, sometimes extravagant, or extreme sometimes as well, or crazy.
Quirky mom.
Like a mad scientist. But definitely fun, and definitely interesting to know and to explore. They're very very interesting people with moon in Aquarius, and the people who see their mothers like that. They can also be artistic in a way. But mostly intellectual and scientific, or just weird.
Just weird. So basically my son sees me as very sexual and weird. That's Scorpio and Aquarius. Or I'll be doing sex webinars.
Now you are very, Lada, you are a very influential astrologer. That's what you are.
Thank you, Radi. Or I'm dead and weird. Let's be honest. I'll be dead.
Weirdly dead. You probably would die from some weird death.
Oh no. Well, it is what it is. It's life.
Oh, yes, and then we have what? The last moon in Pisces. These are very gentle, very emotional mothers that can be very creative. They can be musicians. They can be, I don't know, photographers. They can be cinema business as well. But usually the profession is not so bright with the sign, but when there's a conjunction, for example, Moon conjunction Neptune, uh, a lot of the times people say my mother is a doctor, or my mother is working in a charity organization or something like that.
Or my mom is an alcoholic. Moon in Pisces or Moon in has an addiction. Yeah, that can be. So I've seen that. Or mental illness sometimes even. Kind of, she's a victim, she's helpless. They saw her as a helpless person, weak person of some sort.
Yes, unfortunately that. Or they're like very secretive, and there's dark secrets in the family or concerning her, or she's ill in a way. She has either mental or just any physical health problem, or she's working with such people.
Okay, that's the better manifestation. We prefer that.
Or she has to be taking care of somebody in the family that is ill, and that's why you see her as the
Cinderella.
like a victim. Cinderella, yes, in a way, or a victim of the family, or a victim of circumstances. Yes, and I can't think of, or she can be a spiritual teacher as well. She can be a medium. They are very highly sensitive people. The people with Moon in Pisces and their mothers, they have a very sensitive connection, as if they can just feel each other without talking to each other. They just have these psychic.
Yes, telepathy with the kid.
Yes. And yes, when the moon is in conjunction with some of the planets I mentioned, like Mars, Moon Mars, by the way, because I know a few women with the Moon Mars conjunction. This is a very hard placement to be a mother. Just because you become, I was known for a very patient person, a very calm person, and since I became a mother, I became a little bit hysterical at times.
You're so sweet. I became a little bit hysterical.
And I shout, and I just cannot help it. And this is with all the women that I know, and I know a few. And this and it just help you cannot help yourself. You just shout and you get angry, and you're like, oh my god, this is just coming out of me, and I cannot stop it. It's like uncontrollable.
Wow. So the moon shows how you mother yourself. You also how you're a parent, as a parent.
Yes. And with the moon Saturn, there is like control over emotions, or you can as I already said, with moon Saturn, there's also the family can fall apart. For example, me and Sophia's father, we separated after a few years after we had her. So this shows separation of the family, because the moon shows family.
Hard circumstances around the family, yeah.
Also, it can show that the mother is a politician or works in the government because of Saturn, or is a teacher, or
disciplinarian of some sort.
Yes, and again, she can be very like asking too much of the and asking the child not to be a child but a grown up from a very early age, and have a lot of responsibilities.
Well, that's good.
Moon
Later for life, it can be very good when you give structure and
yes,
discipline. If
yes,
the kid takes it the right way rather than, you know, the negative way. And
yes, it's not the easiest to take it, but yes, eventually you realize, you grow to realize that this was actually good. And Moon Pluto, we discussed that it can be, the mother can be either healer, can be a psychotherapist, can be anything scorpionic. She can be a spy, she
criminal
can be
law,
working
she can be
in the police, yes, or criminal law, or security of some sort, or she can be working with the mafia.
brilliant.
um,
Or in the
and
nightclubs
sure,
stripping,
sorry,
you know, or in the nightclub stripping.
can be possible, yes, or she can be in the insurance business as well.
Yes. That's like, it's not,
Um,
doesn't have the same excitability as like my mom is a stripper. My mom is in the insurance business. It's so much more dramatic here. Anyway. Moon Neptune.
Moon Neptune, either again a doctor, a photographer, working in the cinema. She can be an actress. She can be, again, alcoholic, drug addict, some sort of an addiction happening there, emotional even, or in some kind of a relationship where there is mutual dependency, sort of. But yes, as professions, photographer, dancer, painter, anything to do with water and oceans, also.
Yeah. Lifeguard.
Yes, can be.
What about moon with Jupiter?
Moon with Jupiter, these are people who they can be philosophers, they can be um, travel agents, they can be teachers in a foreign language. They
Very
can be,
religious. My dad has moon conjunct Jupiter, and his mom was very religious.
yes, yes, they can be religious. This is
Very
also,
strong faith.
this goes also for moon in moon
Pisces.
conjunction Neptune, yes, or moon in Pisces, religious. Yes, I forgot about that actually. And with the moon in Jupiter, it can be also the they can work in the court, or something
Yeah.
to do with
Legal
justice.
matters, justice, yeah.
Legal matters, yes. Also, Moon in Libra can be
Like that.
like that as well. Yes. Moon
Uranus.
Uranus, scientists, usually scientists, IT specialists, anything to do with. It can be also to do with fashion, in a way, or something to do with communication, or having business over internet, or with new technology, um, anything
Of
technological, of course.
quirky
Can
stuff.
be an astrologer as well.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Quirky stuff, astrologers and stuff like that, yeah.
Yes, or just a weirdo.
Or also the mom, as you said, distant, but we talked about that with Aquarius anyway.
Yeah, distant, or working with groups, or working for some sort of a humanitarian cause. Part of the UN, for example.
Yeah. Wow, that's
United Nations
I
Council
think
of
we covered all the
Yes.
planets, and
Mhm.
it was great. I really enjoyed that one. And people can, because it's not such a high level astrology, people can understand it and follow, you know, and they were really enjoying it. I'm following the discussion while you're talking, and people really loved it.
Oh, I'm really glad. I hope that they found out at least why their mom is like that,
Why
or
they're
what
so
kind of
screwed
mom.
up? Wow, that
I
was
was
a
nice today.
no, of course.
I didn't tell them like what can work, what's the worst that can be out of their moon. But yes, depending on the aspects as well, because sometimes when you can have moon in Taurus, but it can be square Uranus, it can be opposition Saturn and square Pluto, and it can be
Yeah,
a lot harder
yeah.
uh, than just moon in Taurus. Also, it depends on the fourth and the 10th house, the mother and the father, because sometimes the 10th house represents the mother, depending on the horoscope and depending on the person, depending on who has taken actually the role of the carer, and who is
So roles can
who is
reverse. The
actually,
father can
because
be
the
the
mother.
fourth. The father can be the fourth house
Exactly,
if
yes.
he's taking care of the child instead. Okay.
Yes. So it's all very interesting and connected and complicated and very personal. That's why I always keep saying that people have to concentrate on a personal chart.
Wow, Radi, thank you so much. It was so insightful. I hope you prepare for us some other such webinars or whatever it's called, like an interview. I'd like to have you here more often. I think people really liked you. And if you can come again in a month or two, we'll do another one. And if anyone wants to have a personal reading with Radi, and Radi has a page profile at astrolada.com. I'll put a link for it. You can order horoscope there. She's great. People love her. Whenever she gets a client, they keep coming back to her. So you'll feel it. You'll feel it if Radi is your if Radi is your astrologer. You feel connected, you know, when you choose someone. So thank you so much, Radi. Again, thank you for having me here and for taking time of your night. And yeah,
Thank you
hope
so
to see
much
you.
too. It was fun.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.